All right, now moving forward. This past weekend, Darius and I we had an interesting experience when we spontaneously decided to see one particular movie this past Thursday night. Everything Everywhere All at Once got a wide release this past Friday, and this is why we're getting a chance to review it on the show now, even though it came out a couple weeks prior. A Chinese immigrant goes on an adventure across multiple universes to save the world while exploring all the different lives she could have lived. And the big thing I got away from this, or that I took away from this, was why do drugs when you can just watch this? Because there were so many times, and especially walking out of the theater, I'm like, what the fuck did I just watch? Like, I don't know if you saw me, like when just certain crazy things were going on. There were just certain oddities on there. I kind of put my hands up. I'm like, what am I watching here? Like, I put my hands up during the show multiple times. This is just crazy from start to finish. And now a few days later, I can say that it's that way, but in the best way possible. This definitely isn't for everyone, but I do think a lot of people seem to be enjoying it, and I really see why. Because this is, like I said, this is just bananas from start to finish.
Absolutely. Like, I don't think there's really a single word to describe it other than, like you said, you don't need drugs when you have this movie. I think that's a really good way of putting it, unfortunately.
And I've never done. I've never done any of those. But
neither have I.
Yeah,
okay, Dad, if you're listening, no, I've never done it.
No, don't do it, kids. Don't do it, kids. But if you're ever curious, before you step into that and possibly ruin your life, just watch this movie instead. I bet you'll get the same. You'll get the same feeling. Anyway, go ahead. Didn't mean to cut you off there.
Yeah, it's just from start to finish, it was exhilarating. It was thrilling. And at the same time, it's like the visuals of it were just spectacular. But at the same time, for me specifically, it hit me on a really deep and emotional level because of some of the themes and topics that they were discussing. And I kind of felt that, you feel it throughout the movie. You feel like the love for some of the people have, the tension, the internal drama and demons they may be going through or whatever. Like, this, to me, despite the flashiness, despite the weirdism and the stuff they do, it's a very emotionally, at least for me, driven story in family, right? Mm-hmm. And again, there's so many layers to this. We could talk about, honestly, almost every single character and them to almost all of them on a much deeper level because of just how intricate, in my opinion, this film actually was.
Yeah, and again,
and even though it had a lengthy runtime, honestly, it flew by.
It really
flew by for me.
And I think that's in large part due to the editing is very quick paced. The story itself moves at a very quick pace. The fact that this movie is about 2 hours and 20 minutes long, but the movie itself never slows down, bodes for the film very well. And touching on the story again, I agree with you. The movie is it's both emotionally and thematically deep. It touches on so many different things. Nihilism, mental illness, family and generational trauma, even like a slight, not even a slight allegory, but like, an allegory to suicide. The allegories and symbolism in this film are unconventional, but at the same time, they're impactful and very effective. This, how you have like certain movies that are just weird and quirky just for the sake of weird and being quirky? This movie has a purpose in the way that it tells its story and how weird it is. But at the same time, It does it in a way that you can actually connect with. Not in a way that's like trying too hard to be a certain way. It's a very unique way of addressing these themes. And on top of the themes and the emotions that you have going on, the characters, again, if the themes wouldn't really be as effective and the emotion wouldn't be as effective if it weren't for the characters. The characters themselves are very well done and they're full-bodied across the board too. They all deal with, individually, they deal with one or more of all of these things that I just mentioned. And it all feels very natural. It feels very organic. Again, nothing felt overstuffed. And I think when you have so much that you're trying to say, to do it in a way that feels natural and organic and still be effective and impactful, that's very tough to do. So props to the Daniels. This film was written and directed by the Daniels. Quote, that's named together, Dan Quan and Daniel Scheneirt. Props to them or at the very least to their script. We'll get into the execution of the film like a little bit later on, sure. but just the script alone, that I'm going to assume they wrote for a very long time because of how much is going on. Like they gave themselves a lot to work with, right?
Yeah. Like, again, like, this is just a meaty film, and there are certain moments, like, that you experience the tenderness and that intimacy. And there are moments even where, for a film like this, especially how we were viewing it and how crazy and banana it was, the intimacy, the lows of the film, they hit hard. I actually found myself crying during this movie, and I was not expecting to cry during a movie like this. And again, and some of the dialogue also, like, this is a film, I'm really happy I saw it in theaters, but also it feels like it's the Inception, right? That the movie Inception, where we still talk about to this day, you know, even The Dark Knight, we still talk about to this day because of the themes and everything. This film, in my opinion, feels like that too, because I'm still thinking about it, I'm still discussing it, I'm still trying to dissect it. It is so just well crafted and well made in both the visual themes, character, the directing, the music as well. Oh my gosh. Like, everything about it I absolutely love and thought was spectacular.
Yeah, again, the execution is just spectacular. Again, it's zany, it's crazy, but yet it somehow manages to not be over the top. Like when you go for that sort of style, there's a line that can be crossed to the point where it's over the top and it's off-putting, and you're like, oh, why did it have to go there? But like right before that line is like a sweet spot. That's exactly where this movie is. Because like I said before, it didn't feel like it was trying too hard to be quirky. It felt like it was trying to go about and telling its story in its own unique way without trying too hard to be unique. It felt natural. It felt organic.
Yep, exactly. Like, I just had a great time with this.
Yeah, same here. It was inventive. It was kinetic. Performances across the board were very strong. Michelle Yeoh, she leads the cast, and she's terrific. She did a great job in centering and leading everybody. And something else that I thought of, too, like, the vast majority of the people in the film give essentially, like, multiple character performances in one performance. Like, that's just something I was thinking about, too. And I love how they had to balance multiple characters. But yeah, at the same time, all of these different characters felt like all these different personalities, right? Felt like parts of the same character, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Yep, absolutely. Like, it just added more of that intricacy and intimacy that I was talking about, because it's like, you're not just following one person now. You're following the different paths that they could have taken, how it could have impacted their lives, both on an individual level and collectively. And maybe, because there's two moments in the film that were my favorite, even despite the action. And I don't know if you know this, but there was one where it was a very calm place, and another one where it was at night and it was rainy.
Yep.
The night rainy scene, that just hit. That dialogue, what they were talking, discussing, it was like that culminated almost the entire movie as well.
Laundry and taxes. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh yeah, like, I have no words for this movie other than I highly recommend everyone to see this.
To at least give it a shot.
At least a good people.
Yeah, at least a good people. I would recommend people try it out. But like I said before, this doesn't feel like something it'd be for everybody, because I just think if there's like a certain amount of craziness or zaniness in a movie, like that'll automatically turn some people off. But at least give it a shot. And if some people walk away from it not being as crazy about it, I totally understand why. But if you do walk away from it and you really enjoy it, then that's not exactly going to be much of a plot twist. So this definitely isn't for everybody, but a lot of people honestly do seem to be enjoying it. And I see why, because this is unlike anything I've ever seen. I went into this, expecting to get something, weird and unconventional and original. But it got me in other ways that I didn't expect. I didn't expect to connect with this movie as much as I did and be impacted as much on an emotional level, too. Like, I feel like this is more of like a mental trip, an acid trip more than anything. but I didn't really think it tug at my heartstrings at all. But it did. So I love it when a movie can just surprise you like that.
Yeah, 4 months in, and honestly, this is my favorite movie so far.
Same
of the
here.
year.
Same here. 4 months into 2022, this is the best movie I've seen this year so far. This knocked out The Batman, which, if you haven't gotten a chance to listen to take a look at our review, I think you should. But no, this is
Batman the second.
yeah. But yeah, now Batman is second. But like I said, this is just absolutely spectacular. Definitely check it out. For everybody, did you actually get a chance to watch this movie? If you have, again, can't recommend it enough. Leave your thoughts wherever it is that you can.